What's going on, Malakes? It's your boy, NCZ3 here, and ich bin hier für sein Gangbang! For all you German-speaking people out there. But before we get into the juicy video, fam, alright? I had to edit it down a lot. That's besides the point. I wanted to show you guys one real thing here, and it's a real occurrence that happens all the time. There is nothing wrong with trading speed-ups for resources, but I want to go ahead and put it out there that this CC guild is a known guild, at least in my kingdom anyways, being full of people who use like Nightbot essentially. And what they do is they set their bot program to gather resources for them 24/7. And this is all going to tie into what I'm about to say, okay? This is not something that's irregular, okay? I know a lot of guys that try to do the honest thing, you know, and not bot, but this game right now is being kind of riddled with programs like that, where you've got like one guy running an entire guild, and that entire guild basically, all they do is gather resources and whatnot, and then one person comes to like a billion-mite player like this person right here, like this Love 1989, and they get showered with speed-ups. By the way, they just finished. That was over 2 hours worth of sending resources to one person. I checked back at this at my time. I don't even want to tell you guys what time it is my time. But I looked here, came back to it 30 minutes later, 30 minutes later, and pretty much now anyways, right? So anyways, it's been going on for way too long. What do I mean by all of that business, okay? I want to go ahead and throw it out there that my last video seemed super controversial with BRR and DJ SGK, basically the Steel Alliance guys. Now, I want to go ahead and throw it out there, guys, that look, I absolutely am rooting for those guys to win. I really am. Why? Because I feel like they're like the last hope that we as like, I guess, English or other than Chinese people have. But with what I just showed you, it's so stupid hard to compete because the Chinese guys, they have no shame at all, actually. They have no intentions on fighting fair whatsoever, and so they have so many guilds riddled with programs like Nightbot to basically gather all their resources and stuff. And a lot of the times, you know, WoW battles and fort battles and all that stuff, it's all an attrition war for resources, essentially. And I mentioned that in one of my very first videos, actually. I don't know where it's at, but it's in one of my first videos where I mentioned that, where resources are basically what's going to be determining a lot of things. You can never have enough, essentially. Having said all of that stuff, yes, I know that every single guild in that Steel Alliance has 6 forts, right? And they're all different forts, by the way. We all know that, okay? I'm not an idiot, you're not an idiot, right? What I meant in that last video was that they don't own any forts in their own kingdom. Now, the argument can be made that they don't need it, and that's true. But why don't you guys go for him? I get it. It's a resource battle, and you guys are not going to win that. It's not a money fight. You know what I mean? Like where you've got so many gold champion guys, yada yada yada, right? No, I think they're about even. I think both sets of guilds are the 3 versus 2 basically. You know, the Steel Alliance I think has just as many gold champion guys with the 11k heroes with all the jewels and all that stuff. Just as much as the M44 guys and the cow guys have. Not only that, but you can only really get one person in your guild occupying the base. And so I'm pretty sure they've got some strategy worked out where it all happens. But I want to throw it out there that yes, I am indeed aware and I know all of that stuff. And no, I am not dissing the Steel Alliance guys. I'm actually rooting for them 100% of the way, okay? I really am. Just like a couple things I want to say here to those guys before I get into this gangbang. Essentially is, hey, have you guys considered taking, you know, your most absolute loyal players and asking them, hey, can you guys put this much money in a money pool and then use that money to keep boosting up accounts left and right? Like, have you guys actually thought about doing something like that? I know it's a big trust issue. That's why I said your absolute most loyal players. I know in this guild we're starting to do something like that, and because we're tired of having to wait for a rally leader to come on or, you know, attract a rally leader, we'll just produce our own as a guild, essentially, right? And no, I'm not ever worried about numbers, bro. I'm worried about members. Think about it, okay? Let's go ahead and get into this video right here. This one right here, I want to go ahead and throw it out there. that it's, we saw Warriors Vin, and we were just like, it's a 400 million miter. Can we do this? Can we do this? And apparently they forgot to pop an anti-scout, and Dashti, he scouted them and got a report back. Now, spoiler alert for you guys that don't want to see this all go down, there's about a 10 or 15-ish million mite drop. We killed about 300,000 T4 of them. So essentially, this person was running a skeleton crew, kind of like what I'm doing right now, right? And I would show you guys my account. I'll show you guys afterwards, okay? Where you've only got enough T4 to fill the various marches with the correct ratio of 60% T4 and 40% T3. It took a lot of hits, and I want to go ahead and put it out there for the record for the idiots out there. They're going to be like, this was horrible! Oh my god, you should have rallied him! Well, it's really hard to rally somebody down when they're 400 some odd million mite online, you know, because all that mite's not just fluff. There's a lot of research behind that, right? You know, and they're gonna get full T4 reinforcements, literally full T4 reinforcements, and they were all online immediately as soon as we were done. All of those guys popped in, and Dashi took this guy's leader. So that was yesterday's video. This is kind of to recap on yesterday's video, right? Because it took a long time to edit this video out. It really did, because we had to set it, we had to forget it, we had to keep checking the helps, we had to see if this guy was just AFK, basically, right? Away from keyboard is what we call it back in the day. But yeah, you know, we took a lot of losses, but we don't care. Like, we literally, sorry about that, I just swallowed that. We don't care. We actually do not care about the losses in any amounts. Like, we really don't. Like, you build troops to kill them. That's literally the sole purpose of building them, right? And you know, you're like, well, you could have went better, you could have went smarter, getting the reports and da. I'm like, literally, this person got online as he was getting zeroed. Literally. And look at the gear though, purple champions gear and all that stuff. So these guys, they got some cojones, man. Shout out to Dashti, shout out to White, First Blood, Scooby Trap, Ruthless, I don't know where you at, bro, but shout out to you for participating. You know, the guys that are clone and the other person that's underneath the you know, give me a second here. Let me get this overlay done. Oh, come on. Hurry up, I'm done. Be done typing. Okay, that's Fort CJ, right? Shout out to that guy too, all right? All those people right there that basically threw down and went hard. Shout out to you guys, man. You are what makes this guild, you know, fun. You know, it's interesting. It's whatever you want to call it. And that's all I'm gonna say, fam. You know, later down the road, you know, we did fort battles and all that stuff. I still gotta edit those videos out. I just want to throw it out there for you guys. You know, I wanted to touch bases about what the Gecko said. And I know I don't talk about him all that often, but look, the reason why there isn't such a large viewership and all that stuff, and all the comments are reading it, okay? They're all saying the same thing. It's because this game is far too pay to win. It's far too pay to win, right? You know, games like Clash Royale, there is a cap, basically, and there's Tinks right there. He's starting the rally against Dashti, right? We're gonna make them carpet and all that stuff. It's hilarious, okay? It really is. I mean, it really is. They have carpets for days, and they are such in a rush to use all the carpets, okay? But what I'm trying to say here, fam, is that this game is far too pay to win in order for it to be, like, extremely viewed. Like, you gotta understand here, a lot of players want to see the flashy stuff, like big mites getting zeroed and all that stuff. It's great. People want to learn and all that stuff, and I think the Gecko's got it right, where if you view one YouTuber, you really should view all of the other YouTubers and share constantly, because there's so many players that play this game. And, you know, I don't know. I guess what I'm trying to say here, fam, is the community isn't exactly supporting itself. It's just not, you know. You know, it's easy to get a bunch of newer viewers. It's harder to keep people viewing you, but it's even harder when the game is extremely pay to win, or, you know, at such a high skill cap that, you know, you're not gonna really get far in the game. Kind of like PUBG. That's why there's not so many PUBG YouTubers out there that do their own material, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of, like, montages and all that stuff, but, you know, if you look at who actually puts their own content out there for PUBG, there's not a ton of them, because it is so stinking hard to consistently produce a winning video once a day, twice a day, or whatever, unless you constantly just play that game non-stop. And I've got a life, man. Like, I'm not bad at PUBG. I'm not bad at Fortnite. I'm actually pretty good at both. But I've got a life, man. I've got a family and all that stuff. I'm not single. I'm married. All that stuff. So I have a life, bro. So anyways, what I'm trying to say here is it requires a lot of hours. And for somebody like me, I put in, like, a minimum of, like, I want to say, like, 8 hours a day. Minimum. You know, answering comments, mails, thinking of ideas to do, editing videos, shooting the videos like I'm doing now, all that stuff. Anyways, Skeleton Crew, what I'm trying to say here, fam, is that I built 500 more T4 fighters than I wanted to, okay, for the heroic fighters, right? I'm only ever going to have 60,000 T4 cav, 60,000 T4 infantry. This 40,000 can change. It should only be 30,000. And the reason being for those numbers is because I will only ever send 60% T4 and 40% T3, pretty much no matter what I do, because T4 are extremely expensive to just make. They're expensive to heal, yeah, but they take a lot of time and they're expensive to just make in general. We are not at that point, fam, that we can just send full T4 marches at forts and bases and stuff, you know, and I don't really ever want to be at that point because then it attracts a certain kind of crowd, like that I'm better than you crowd, and I don't want to promote that kind of stuff. I really don't, man. So look, 60,000, 60,000, 40,000. My range is 10,000 on the shield. Now I might lose some T4 ranged units. You know, I might lose some. That's fine. If I lose some down to 30,000, then I'll just increase this number to 20,000. It's simple. You know. 40,000 cavs to shield, 40,000 infantry to shield. I'll do more of this kind of stuff on Sunday. You know what I mean? That's usually the day of like learning, or you know what? I don't know. Anyways, look, I don't want to confuse you guys too much. What I will say out here though is that yeah, people get the wrong impression all of the time, no matter what. Like they literally do. They get the wrong impression all of the time, and people want to stay ignorant, no matter what, actually. Like, people still believe you have to pay me to join this guild, and that couldn't be further from the truth, fam. But those kind of people want to stay ignorant, you know, and I'll let them stay ignorant. That's as simple as that. Anyway, so guys, look, you know what I'm talking about, though. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Thanks for stopping by to spend some of your quality time. And, yeah, stay classy. My red beard.